Welcome to the Daily Academy podcast here at dailyfantasycafe.com. I'm your host, Josh Shepardson, also known as @bchad50 in the land of Twitter. And let me start off by wishing you a warm welcome to the world of daily fantasy sports. This is your introductory course in the undergraduate section of the Daily Fantasy Cafe Daily Academy. And if you've played in season-long leagues, let me start by saying that you've got the tools to succeed in daily fantasy. If you're familiar with doing the research, it's not as daunting a task as it might seem making that transition. So let me start by getting some things out of the way immediately. If you're new to daily fantasy sports, any legal concerns, wipe them away. They are legal. More on that in a separate section of the undergraduate section of the Daily Academy. But it is legal. We've got to get the elephant in the room addressed immediately. There's no sense in dancing around it. Enjoy the game and don't worry about any concerns about that. But because it's legal, you can be assured that your funds are safe. And that brings us to the next portion of this Daily Academy section, and that's depositing and withdrawing money. Depositing is simple. You can deposit at all of the major daily fantasy sites using PayPal or your debit or credit card. It's secure. Again, I stress that as it's very important. These sites take all the necessary means to be secure and make sure that your money is secure. DraftKings offers a minimum deposit as small as $5. FanDuel's is a little bit steeper, but it's only $10. So not expensive at all to get things started. And I mean, you look around the industry and there are plenty of stories of gamers starting off with as little as a $20 deposit and never looking back. So real small minimum deposits, really safe, really easy deposit means. And I mean, if you have a PayPal account or you have a debit or credit card, which pretty much everyone in this day and age has at this point, it couldn't be any easier. And the nice thing is these sites don't jerk you around with getting your money either. It's not like they're in a hurry to take your money and not pay you out. I'm somebody who went through the online poker boom, and I know the frustrations with that. I can assure you, as someone who has cashed out at both sites, that it is fast. It takes approximately 7 to 10 days for check withdrawal. For those of you who request payouts via PayPal, it's even faster than that. So you get your money in a couple business days. They don't screw around, and they get it to you promptly. It's easy peasy, basically, and it's great. I love it. I have had no problems, and I've really not seen any problems on message boards and on Twitter of people having any issues with getting their money. So feel very comfortable about getting that. Another nice thing about these sites is that they will make sure that they're paying you. If it's a large sum of money that you're withdrawing, these guys will go through the checks and balances to make sure that they are paying you and not paying someone else. So feel very good about that. Daily fantasy sports couldn't be any easier getting money in, couldn't be any easier getting money out. For those of you who are new to the daily fantasy and not ready to wager money just yet, don't worry. These sites also have free contests. They're a great way to become familiar with the layout of the websites, with roster construction, tinker around a little bit. And the other nice thing is that these sites often offer free rolls so that you can start your bankroll for nothing, basically. These games will pay out prizes, and sometimes cash prizes, sometimes other prizes. And the free rolls are a great way to kick off a bankroll without risking anything. I mean, who doesn't love having a chance at winning money for the price of on the house? And if you're a first-time depositor, most of these sites will also offer you a free roll just for making that deposit. So lots of ways through free contests to build your bankroll, start your bankroll, and just become familiar with these sites before you're really wagering money. The buy-ins, prizes, and field sizes at these sites are vast. You can buy in for as little as a quarter in some games at DraftKings, as little as $1 at FanDuel, and the buy-ins can jump as high as 4 figures in those. So there are buy-ins for everybody. Prizes are dependent basically on the buy-ins. Obviously, the quarter games aren't going to have as large of a payout as a $1,000 buy-in game, but the nice thing about daily fantasy sports sites are the guaranteed prize pool games, which there's more on that in the academy. We'll just gloss over that and say that these tournaments are exactly what they sound like. They have a guaranteed prize pool regardless of the number of gamers in them. So you're guaranteed a certain amount of money being paid out. So prizes can be large, especially for these large field games. If you've been following DraftKings at all during the NFL season, you're probably familiar with the Millionaire Maker. They gave out $1 million to winners of these tournaments numerous times throughout the year. So big prizes, big field sizes. You can get in some smaller games, play as small as head-to-head, and just compete against one other person. Basically, you can find a contest of any field size for you, and that's the beauty of daily fantasy sports. They aren't one size fits all. There's a lot of customizable options. You can set a lot of these sites will offer contests that you can create with some options to really hone in on exactly what you're looking for, and that's one of the beauties of daily fantasy contests. And as I said, if you're transitioning from season-long leagues to daily fantasy, you've got all the tools in your tool belt necessary to make the transition. Most likely, you know the websites to go to for statistical analysis. What you're looking to do is break this analysis down into daily pieces instead of projecting for the full season. But a lot of the same sites that you go to for season-long data are going to be the ones that you're going to for this. Daily Fantasy Cafe is going to offer some wonderful statistics and projections for you. But also sites like Fangraphs are a great resource for looking up pitcher splits and things of that nature, and all the things that are going to apply to daily fantasy sports. And so if you're thinking about making that transition from season-long, supplementing your season-long leagues with daily fantasy sports, you've got the goods necessary, and it's definitely a nice way to spice things up. As they say, variety is the spice of life, and if you're that unfortunate owner that is having a dreadful season-long league, daily games are a great way to kind of forget the awful season as a result of maybe you had Yu Darvish and he went down for the year. Daily fantasy keeps you active, gets you having some fun, and I mean, let's be honest. How many other forms of entertainment give you the opportunity to win money? I can't go to the movies and come out with more money than I went in with. So definitely start jumping into the daily fantasy sports world. We've got all the information here that you need to be prepared, avoid the pitfalls that we made as we transition from season-long leagues to daily ourselves. And with that, I wish you good luck. And I suggest checking out all of the rest of the Daily Academy and preparing yourself for what's going to be a very fun endeavor, and that's joining the daily fantasy world. Take care.